Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, everybody?
وعليكم
Welcome,
السلام
Mahdi
ورحمة الله
Tijani.
وبركاته.
Welcome back, Akhi.
شكرا أخي جزاك الله خير. Thank you for having me again.
It's a very hot topic among Arab world, like, and little bit internationally about Charles in Sweden. So it is a great topic actually today, guys. Regarding Abuamerican, like we're waiting for him. He's supposed to join in any minute. So we will start from here, and he will join like in few minutes. In the beginning, inshallah, I'm gonna give you like you supposedly like everybody hear about this thing trending in the social media about Sweden government kidnapping children from their families, and they target Muslim to be more specifically. So they're taking children of all types of family, but the easiest family to take children from is the Muslim family. And I will refer you, and you will find in the description a link to a good book. It's called Profitable Municipal Human Trafficking by Ov Sweden. Ov Sweden is a man. He's ex-politician. He used to be member of the Swedish Parliament, and like he's well-known man in Sweden. He appointed that out in a good book. It's available in Swedish language and in English language. I left you the English copy on Amazon in the description for who want to read it. It's a good book, and he's saying specifically, like I will read the like a review or a summary about the book, Mahdi, and like let me know what you think.
Sure.
Okay, he says that the LVU Act in 1990, like this act started in 1990 by the Swedish government, and he's referring to the law with a special uh, provisions on care of young people is a beautiful facade, which is created to do what is best for children. So they are selling you that narrative. We are doing what is the best for children, but with a simple LVU label, which is like the main label of this procedure, the LVU. With simple label, a kidnapped child can be used as a commodity in the municipalities, a profitable human trafficking. So what he's saying basically, like they are getting money because there's a huge budget from the taxpayer pockets is dedicated to the municipalities and the social authorities to take those children. So they will take a specific amount of support on each child. Don't you think that that's motivation to take children out of their
Of
families?
course. So there's a financial motive then. Yeah, there's a financial incentive.
Yeah, yeah. Abu
What's
American
the
is here,
long
Yeah,
guys.
apologies, guys. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam rahmatullahi wa
Alaikum
barakatuh.
salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's the
Abu
only
American,
computer
how
in the
you
house
doing
right
today?
now. And
Yeah.
you know, every time I come in here, something's set up different. It's like, and it just messes with my settings.
MashaAllah.
That's okay. That's okay, bro. I'm reading like to be on point. I'm reading about American an introduction of a book, it written by a Swedish ex-parliament member about kidnapping children.
Okay.
So it's the book called Profitable Municipal Human Trafficking. That means like they are gaining profits. The municipalities and the social system, they are getting like a big budget, and they are getting profit
Coach Kareem,
out
your
of
voice,
this
your
procedure.
voice clarity is completely
So I
off.
thought it was mine.
I've seen it in the comments as well, the
Ah,
chat.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me check the audios. It's supposed to be good, guys. I don't know. Is that better?
That's a little bit better
Sounds
now.
better right now, yeah. But you get some chop in there when you
Yeah.
start talking.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I was reading the introduction of this book. He's saying that LVU Act started in 1990 with a special provision on care of young people is a beautiful facade. He's saying it's created to do what is the best for the children, but with a simple LVU label, a kidnapped child can be used as a commodity, and the municipalities profitable human trafficking. The social services have totalitarian power over the LVU process in the beginning. The policies transport services is hired to move an LVU child between different homes for care and housing. The LVU system is a large industry. The municipalities earn around 40,000 crowns per month on children, on every single child. So which they manage to capture with an LVU. The method of delaying an LVU case increased in the municipalities' profit. So as much as they keep the child in the municipality, they are getting more and more money for it. Only a small fraction of LVU incomes benefits the child. Most end up in the private pocket of the HVB owners and family homes. So there is more than one there is more than one section or one let's say jiha, which is more than one organization or sub organization is profiting with this. The municipality is getting profit from this. The social system is getting profit of this, and the adopter's family is getting profit out of this. Between $2,000 and $4,000 per each child, they are getting as support for each one of them. Can you believe that?
What's the
Do you
end
hear me,
game
guys?
here?
Mm.
What's the
Got
end?
you.
What's the long-term motive?
Hmm.
What's the motive? Long term.
We are getting to that, but we want to go like step by step. We will talk
Mm.
about marriage rate and fertility rate and other stuff, but let's go one by one. So there is a huge incentivization to take children out of their homes on economic level.
Mm.
That's so profitable. Like if you adopted five children, you will get around $10,000 to $12,000 each month just from these children's.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. Fine. That's purely capitalistic then.
Yeah, what do you think about
I don't
American? You've
understand. If
been
you want to
quiet.
have that many kids, why don't you just like respectfully? If you want to have that many kids, why don't you just have your own kids? I don't get it.
They are
Unless
not
there's a
getting any
physical
kids.
reason.
Yeah, they are not giving birth. Like the whole marriage institution in Sweden is dismantled since long time,
Mm.
and we will come to that. So, guys who want to get more information about this from a professional book about the subject, the link is in the description. If you want to read it in English, or if you can read Sweden, there is a copy of Swedish copy of it. So, why they are doing that? Okay, we can start, and I know this is my favorite subject. We can start by the marriage rate in Sweden. And I will share a screen here. I will share a screen, which is the first one. Okay, hold on a minute. Swedish population. Yeah, this one. If you can see, guys, this is from statista.com. From statista.com, this is the population of Sweden in 2020. Like, that's a recent study, like 1.5 year ago, by marital status. If you see here, which is 5,531, is unmarried at all of the adults
Wow.
in Sweden. And remember, Sweden population is 10 million. So 5.5 million is unmarried at all. And there is here around 1 million, over 1 million is divorced, and over than 400,000 is widowed. So the
Um,
vast majority of adults in Sweden are unmarried without children.
do they have like cohabitation in that, in those stats?
I don't think so. It is the legal marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, but most of Sweden will get it in the legal system.
Hmm.
The
I mean,
Muslims with
cohabitation has
different.
turned into a big thing in the West. So I mean, nowadays with I'm not disputing anything here. I'm just saying it's like it's kind of difficult. Okay. It's kind of difficult to what's the word? To use these stats with marriage when cohabitation has become bigger than marriage itself. You see what I'm saying? And so if that's not being tracked, if that's not being traced, then it's kind of hard to like make a call, because people just don't get married. They have kids, they have families, they do all this stuff, but they don't produce families. You know what I mean? So I'm just curious about this. That's all. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but everybody know that getting a child without marriage is it costs a lot, even in Sweden.
Hmm.
So it costs the father a lot. So in total, they have around 6.97 million non-married individual in Sweden. And that leads us to the second to the second screen here, which is talking about this might be the loneliest country for expats. So this is written for expats who's coming to Sweden, or who want to relocate to Sweden. And hold a minute, let me show you this. Okay, I believe it's on the screen now. Yes. Dating is tough here, despite being the nation with the Europe's highest proportion of singles, in whole Europe. So the majority of people in Sweden are are singles, and they are announcing that. Look at here what they are writing here. Almost half of Swedish households are made up of childless single adults, compared with less than third across Europe. So it is like very high percentage if you want to compare it to the other countries of Europe. On average, according to the European Union number crunching agency in Eurostat. What do you think, guys?
That is mental. But I have one question.
Mhm.
Why?
Marriage is not attractive anymore
But
in the
that's not
multi.
marriage. That's saying they're single. معناتها they're not even in a relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah. So why?
I think these numbers are slightly distorted. They're slightly strange. So these are female statistics, or is these just universal?
this is singleness in general, Abuamerican. They're talking
I
about
mean, because
singleness in
they're
general.
having like an issue where now the feminists there are basically trying to block Swedish men from flying to Thailand in specific and marrying Thai wives. You know,
Yeah.
so
instead of hold on, let's just hold on. Instead of thinking, why do the men not want to marry us? Instead, no, we have to stop them from not wanting to marry us. We shouldn't check. We shouldn't address the problem. No, we need to stop them from finding us. Yani the level of solipsism. There's levels to this. There's
if I can't be happy, neither can you. Is their whole thing.
right.
Hmm. Which is like the next numbers here, Swedish, which is Swedish average age at first marriage. So, and that includes data from 2010 to 2020. So it is 10 years data. Okay, I'll show you this, and you will be shocked. Like in Arab world, when we see when we see numbers like 27 or 26, 27 years old for female, the average married number, which is like very high, we consider it very high. Look in Sweden. In
I knew so.
Sweden,
I
yeah,
knew so.
the female for the woman is 34 years point 7, which is almost 35 years old. Like they are getting married in the high risk pregnancy age, in the danger zone. You got me? So how are they gonna generate kids? How? They are not downloading kids from Amazon. So
Are they a dying population? Does their death rate exceed their birth rate?
it is below the minimum. We will come to it. It is around 1.6, 1.5 right now.
Oh, they're well below. Whoa, it's a dying population. I know Britain this year, for the first year in 40 years, the death rate exceeded the birth rate for the first time in 40 years. Look, people are scared to have kids. I don't know
Mhm.
if it's mass media indoctrination. I don't know what it is. There is this narrative even in the Muslim community. I've heard Muslims say you can't do justice to more than two children. You can't give your full attention to more than just two kids. And this has been surrogately adopted by the Muslims in the Muslim community, and even Muslim families now, like millennial, my generation, millennials, maybe Gen X, they're refusing to have kids, and at least not as much as they once used to.
And so, I mean, basically bringing this back into the conversation. So the idea is we're going to steal the kids from the people who are having kids. Is that the solution?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, which is like we know that they are doing it. They are denying it. The Swedish government are using all the media that they can use to defend that. No, we are not taking the children. We are doing what is the best for the children. So beside that conflict, they are doing it or not doing it, because
Mhm.
we know they are doing it. We want to analyze why they are doing it, like why
Let me
they
take this from a
chose
different angle,
this
though.
one. Yeah.
Let me approach this for a different angle for a second. And I said this before, and I mean, a lot of people are going to take offense to this, but that's okay. They can take offense. If you're not an indigenous Swede Muslim, what are you doing there anyway?
Hmm.
What were you thinking to find by going to Sweden? I've seen, and they can get mad at me. I'm gonna name them. I've seen loads of Somalis up in Sweden. Has any of you guys been to Sweden?
No.
Manigas. Sweden is like the land of polar bear people. What are black people doing up there in the ice and the cold? We ain't even like, we don't even fit in the environment in the winter. We stand out no matter what we do. It's not our environment. It's not our place. What are we doing up there? Why did you leave? I understand it's not the most developed place in the world, all these countries that the Muslims leave from, but is this really it? Why would you leave your country, come out here, hang out with these people who don't like you, who don't want you, and then eventually they come and they steal your kids, and they're still staying there?
I can take it from another angle, Abuamerican. So what they are explaining, like how they are justifying taking like the Muslim family kids. They are
Mhm.
saying that there is values that considered extremism value or extremist value among Muslim families, like honor culture, like Muslims teaching their daughters not to be hoes. And you're not supposed to teach your daughter that. You should let her choose her lifestyle and do whatever she wants. So this extremist narrative, it's easy label for like used with anyone. Okay, I will ask this question. When you are accepting immigrant like Syrian refugees, like immigrant from all Middle East, all Muslim countries that have like some economic difficulties, when you're accepting them, why you are not testing their belief system to reject them before they come to into Sweden and take their children? What do you think, guys? Why they are not rejecting them from the beginning before they enter Sweden?
I mean, I talked about this in several videos with Germany in specific. And then we look at the population decline in the West in general, people taking in all these refugees, like now they're talking about taking in the Ukrainians. Taking in refugees is never humanitarian. It's always about shoring up their declining and dropping and falling populations. But what they need is they need a new generation, a new population that's going to be, or at least behave like indigenous people, even though they won't be treated like them. You need the next generation of people to be a bunch of nice little calm worker bees that like follow the rules, whatever else. And we know that Europeans, you see it in Germany. I know we're talking about Sweden, but Sweden's not much different. You tell the people turn left, they turn left. You tell them turn right, they turn right. You tell them jump off the bridge in flaming underwear, they're going to jump off the bridge in flaming underwear into a gasoline river. These people, that's what they want. And you can't have that. You think they're going to get that if my kids stay in my house? Yeah, obviously. I always think about that too. I'm a target too, So
Yeah,
what do they do?
In Germany, by the way, 45,000 Abuamerican, 45,000 children every year taken from their families in Germany also.
Yeah. And see, this is the thing. We've seen generation after generation in Europe of like cultures making their own communities and then sticking to their culture and their community. It doesn't work for them. So now they got to come with a new plan. But again, we come back to the old statement. Why are we surprised? Look at Europe. We haven't seen a single European country that didn't at some point go somewhere where there's a bunch of brown people and take slaves and say we're doing it for those people's good. We're bringing them culture and knowledge and, this, that, the other. They don't have one of their own. What's different now other than, they're a little bit slicker at it? Why is everybody acting surprised? I mean, I'm just kind of like, these are these people. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, what are we expecting from them? I have very low expectations of them. Maybe because I grew up around them. I don't know. It's not surprising to me. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying I support it, but it's like, you didn't do your homework. Just like you asked, didn't they do their homework on who they're letting in the country? Well, didn't you do your homework on whose country you're going to? It's kind of like, what's going on here, guys? Everybody just sort of like.
I bet that sounds good on paper, but like when some refugees they are having threats to death, and they're on their families, like if there's a civil war in their country, so they want to go out for anyone who's welcoming, so they do not consider what you're thinking in like more stable way.
I only have European examples because that's what I learned. I learned history. I learned less U.S. history. I learned more European history than U.S. history. But when World War II started, what did Europeans do? They hunkered down. They didn't go to other countries, and they fought. Sometimes dad just didn't come home, and then the kids had to be the man, and the kids had to grow up. What are you doing? I made a video about this too. What kind of person do we expect to come over here? Your country's at war. Your country needs you at the most dire time. You run. There's something wrong here. It's like this starts off with family, then it goes community, then it goes country. If you cut and run right there, somewhere along the line, you're going to cut and run on family too. I mean, I'm not saying it's these people's fault. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, what kind of person are you when you cut and run when your people need you the most?
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to have sympathy for it. If my people need me, as many problems as I have with them, and there's some enemy that ain't the Muslims, what do you think? Am I going to run? No. All my crossbows, all my guns, all my weapons, all my swords, we're going to go fight. We're throwing down. I may not like my people, but you're not one of them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what are you doing over here? It's time to fight. So, I mean, this running stuff, it doesn't bring, for me, it doesn't trigger like, a type of sympathy. I am a father, so, of many children, and I empathize and sympathize in the sense that, nobody's coming to take my kids at the same time. Somebody's going down, but it's like, this is happening because what we've seen happen on a micro and a macro level is happening on a micro and a macro level, just in another country. The same cowards that ran from the war where their people needed them are the same cowards that let people come into their house and take their kids. Why have you not picked up a knife, a weapon, or whatever else and told and showed these people, yeah, you may get my kids, but I'm going to defend my family to the death? They know you won't, because you're the same person who wouldn't defend your country to the death. They know they've got nothing but a bunch of cowards in their countries now. And so they know they can run all over you.
They will say Abuamerican promote violence now.
Yeah, they can say what they want. I'm just saying, we understood that back in the past, anywhere, in the world, if you came into a man's house, that was fair game to fight to the death. At what point in history did this stop? When you can come
in the modern day time.
I don't care if you're the state or not. That's a hostile act. You can't just come and take my family and then leave me free. If I'm that dangerous, if there's such a problem, you need to either kick me out of your country or put me in jail. But you're just going to show up and take my kids? I'm not in jail. I'm not evicted from the country. Obviously, I'm not that dangerous. So you obviously just want my kids.
Let's take this down another route, though, Abuamerican. Let's use your scenario, and let's say that you do fight. You basically pull out arms and whatever else, and someone's trying to take your kids. The state's trying to take your kids. Ultimately, they still have the upper hand, which means they'll throw you into jail. And not only will they still take your kids, but now you don't actually have any influence in their lives because you're behind bars. So
what's the difference in outcomes, though?
Well, they're both negative outcomes. But then this comes down to which one is the lesser of the two evils. You being free and being able to see your kids, or you being behind bars.
In 98%
you won't be able to see your kids, though.
cases,
your kids,
you will never see your cases again.
Yeah, that's
98% of cases.
They're not giving you visitation at somebody else's house to see your kids while they're trying to raise them like they're his kid.
Okay, but you're still behind bars. What benefit are you? What use are
I understand,
society?
but here's the thing. This comes back to what I was saying. So 45,000 cases. If every single person resisted to their utmost and to their extreme, do you really think they'd be trying to take people? If there was 45,000 cases of people whipping out knives, weapons, guns, whatever else to fight, to protect and defend their family, they'd probably rethink their strategy if 45,000 people resisted to that.
That's true.
But cowardism has become the new trend and the new cool.
Yeah.
They do it because they can get away with it and they know it. I mean, I know this is a different conversation. I'd rather be dead than to think what's happening to my kid right now. Where is he? Where is she? What's happening? I'd rather be dead than torture myself like that for whatever amount of years that Allah has given me left on this planet.
I mean, that will happen in Arabic countries if this happened. Like I was imagining that if that's happening in Jordan or Saudi Arabia or Qatar or like Iraq or any Arabic country. So somebody from the government come to take my children because telling me you are not the proper father. It's gonna be one of us should die. One of us will die. Like you're not taking my children. And the great thing about Arabic societies, like we are tribes. So you're not arguing with me or fighting with me. You're fighting with 50,000 people behind me that will support me. They will crush the whole government down if you are kidnapping my children.
You make a good point that needs to be addressed also.
Tribes.
Where are the Muslims in this? Muslims are on the internet complaining about this, but when it comes down to it, it's like this didn't fall out of the sky. They always, they always dot the T's and cross the I's when they're about to take your kids. So that means a lot of paperwork and a lot of back and forth is taking place before this. Where are the Muslims? Like, Ahmed, they about to take my kids. I need your help. And then Ahmed takes your kids and disappears. These people, they managed to, in Germany, I know that Sweden's probably similar, but I'll just use Germany as an example. These people will have a dog that will kill a child, and they'll take the dog, give it to some other people, and they'll hide that dog so that they can't put the dog to sleep. We can't do that as Muslims with our community children. These kuffar can do it for a dog that killed somebody. We can't. I've never met Mahdi face to face, but if he said they're trying to take my kids, I'd be like, drive them through the Channel to France. They can chill here at my house. I'll give you access because I got cameras in everything. I'll give you access to all the cameras in my house. You can see my kids every day. My wife will walk around in a abaya every day. And until you figure out how you're going to get your kids back and what country you're going to live in, they can stay here. You think I let my brothers go through that? What are the Muslims doing?
Yeah.
Where's the ummah? Everybody talks about this ummah. And then what do? We just tear each other apart, try and get channels blocked, try and eat each other alive. And then who do you think they don't pay attention to this? What happened to the Muslims and what's happened to our children? The Muslims happened to us. We ain't unified.
Divide and conquer. Keep them divided. it's out of your business. Don't interrupt this. Don't get your nose in this. You will be in jail too.
I put my
So
nose
they
all
are
up in
afraid.
it. I'm dead up. If brothers I know from my community, they have problems like that, send your kids here. And if I catch heat, guess what? We're gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna find another brother. We got brothers all over the world. We got brothers in Switzerland, Romania, wherever else. There's eventually gonna be a place where they can't go. And we'll keep
Hmm.
doing that. And then we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to help our brothers get money, get jobs, whatever else, wherever we're going to go. But what we're not going to do is just let somebody roll up and take someone's kids. So where are the Muslims?
Hmm. That's a good point. What do you think, Mahdi?
It's unarguable. See, the precondition for that is courage, Abuamerican. And when I think
Yep.
of that, I like it. But see, what are we right now? We're like the froth of the sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men in general, regardless of religion, have been emasculated to a large degree. And I would say that is actually our own fault. We have allowed this to happen because I've mentioned this in the past. If we agree that not too long ago, even in the West, patriarchy was king, it was men who are the patriarchs. Well, if that's the case, then it was also those same men who allowed women to reach their positions of power that they now have, which means that ultimately the finger must come back on ourselves again.
That's a great point. That's a great point. So they are dealing with the consequences of that what they created. They, yeah, like nobody forgets that Sweden is the most egalitarian country in the world. So we are dealing at equal in everything, and
Mm.
that's been there since 30 years. It's not new. Like other countries trying to be egalitarian, they are the most egalitarian country in the world. Look at look at look at this, guys. Look at this. These numbers of talking about the numbers of women living in single person household in Sweden in 2020. That's all. That's also updated statistics. So here we're looking about 15 to 24. There is 68 over than 68,000 female living in single person household.
What's that as
Uh,
a percentage of the population, so that I can have context?
it's distributed by ages, by age range. So the whole population is 10 million. There
Oh,
is
okay.
68,000 15 to 24. 25 to 34 is 129,000 single female living alone.
Sorry, guys. Give me a
So
second. It's like a windstorm just blew in. I got to close some of these windows.
okay. So look at the other numbers, 35 to 44. It is 61, almost 62,000. 45 to 54, which is 84,000, and 55 to 64 is 139,000. Here is the moms and the grandma's age. Look at them; all of them is living alone, and this is a huge percentage. Also, it's almost 230 or 220, yeah, 230,000 female between the age of 15 to 34 is living alone.
Hmm.
They are living alone. So where does that like take us? That will take us to the fertility rate in Sweden, and that
Good.
will be
خليهم يموتوا.
on that will
تهنينا
be
منهم.
on the other screen, which is that's very interesting data here. What I gathered here. Look at the unemployment rate here. The unemployment rate. Do you see it, guys? The unemployment rate is among men is more than women,
Mm.
and it's been like that since 1990, since 30 years. Look at here in a blue. It is the men. It is almost all the way to the end of the road above. Look at here, Sweden. They are the unemployed men is over than women. Do you remember, Mahdi, when we was talking about how men is economically unattractive to women?
Mm-hmm.
So they are not getting in relationship with men. They are not by default. They are not having any kids. And the demographic here, look at the fertility rate in Sweden is dropping down since the 60s and 70s. It used to be around 2.4. Now they are struggling about 1.5. And
Oof.
1.5 is below the minimum required to maintain the civilization.
That's
It is,
well below. That's well
yeah,
below.
yeah, it is 1.9. Should be over 1.9 is reversible. 2.1 over 2.1 is maintaining the
Hmm.
society. It's not growing. It's
Hmm.
maintaining the society.
Hmm.
So they have a huge motivation to take immigrants' children.
Mm.
Yeah,
What do you think, guys?
Fascinating. Fascinating, wallah.
I think I agree. They do have an incentive, and and especially when they know they can get away with it.
Yeah, of course. Let me get back to my question. When they are accepting immigrants on the border or on the embassy, like they know that these immigrants, like this couple, for example, they are Muslim. The woman is fully hijab. The guy will say that I'm praying, I'm a committed Muslim, and they know they have Islamic value. But do you know how they look at them? These look like two children manufacturing machines.
Mm.
We will welcome them in because we need their children. We don't need them for the society, but we need children because our woman is not marrying men. They are strong, independent, and in the most egalitarian country in the fucking world. So they don't need any man. They will marry in 36. You will never have any children, and the whole society is declining. Now, we need someone to manufacture babies. And those Muslim couples, they look like that they are good at manufacturing babies. So we will say, "You're welcome, guys. Get in the country. Get us like 3 or 4 kids, and we will take them away, and you can cry in the corner." That's it.
I mean, Abuamerican made a very good point earlier, to be honest with you. If the country hasn't done their homework, the people haven't done their homework either. You know, pick your poison. You know,
Yeah.
Money blur everybody
Right.
vision.
I,
Right.
I think I think you can't escape the fight. You can't escape the battle. One way or another, you're going to find it somewhere. You escape the battle at your home, you're going to get another one somewhere else.
Mm,
Wh-
mm, mm, mm.
Which one's it going to be?
Pick your poison.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
it is that like the whole country is declining. I'm talking about
Yeah.
demographical wise, and they are not stepping back from the feminist egalitarian agenda because like it's supported to the death. So that will manufacture a long term issue, which is like they are facing now, which is nobody's getting married. Most men is not economically attractive to women. Women are being taken care of all basic needs, so they don't need a man. So they are not getting married also. So there's no kids, or they are not having sex also. They are most sexless. So they're not having any kids also. That generate like a huge problem, a huge risk on a society level. How are we going to deal with that? uh, the Swedish government, how are we going to deal with that, guys? Okay, we need someone kids now. So let's welcome all of immigrants, and we will take their kids and indoctrinate them, socially engineer them. So imagine they are taking your daughters and putting them with the homosexual family, two men. One of them is identified pedophile before. So how do you think they're gonna raise them?
Well, yeah, we know.
We're on YouTube, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I decline to comment.
I like you. I'm not trying to mess your channel up, bro. So
So
homie.
because they're giving equal opportunity for all forms of families, like two mom families, two dad families, and like regular families, uh, even if they have record of abusing children, or sorry, as pedophile tendencies or other stuff, and there is no controlling over them. So there is no consequences. There is no authorities that forcing them to treat that child well. They will ask the child, and they bribe the child. Daniel was talking about that in the last video. They will bribe the child, which is we will get you the latest iPhone. I will get you like two iPads. Just like your father, your original father, will never have this money to take care of you as I'm taking care of you.
Yeah.
So that is the main idea. Will they will ask, the social will ask the child, "Are you having fun?" Yes, I'm having fun. Okay, so we'll keep him here, and they are getting a lot of money of it.
Okay. Well, I mean, we understand the problem, but what's the solution?
The solution should be an advice before you go to Sweden. If you are going to Sweden, never have children there, because there is kidnap cases in the hospital. By the way, in the day one of the child, like of the child age, in the day one.
Wow.
Yeah. So they will never wait you to raise him for 3 or 4 years. They'll take him from the hospital.
Wow.
So give us your suggestions, Abuamerican. You're an old man.
I mean, me personally, the moment someone like makes any sort of threat in regards to my children, be it physical, be it like bureaucratic, which what we're talking about right now, basically a combination of both. That's it for me. There's no middle ground. It's my children, so it's absolute war. It's fight or flight. You can't fight the state. An individual threatens my kids across the street, I'm going to go whack them on the head. I'm going to take one of my machetes. I'm going to take my chances, 5, 6, 7 years in jail, whatever it takes. Come back out. I got my sons. I'll tell them, hey, come watch your brother, come watch your sister, whatever else. Someone around the street is going to get whacked, But when you're talking about the state, you can't whack the state. Or you could whack a few guys from the state, but then they've got more people than you do. So you have to take your flight method. You got to take your family. You got to go somewhere else. But to sit around, like I said, this stuff doesn't fall out of the sky. They're up to something. They make sure that they look like they're doing the right thing when they come to take your kids. Now, it could be justifiable in some cases. I highly doubt in this particular case it is. But in the cases where it isn't, which we know in this specific, instance, it's not. Dude, what are you doing? They told you what they're going to do. You have an idea what they're going to do. You know what's up. You just sitting around waiting for what? You were sitting around waiting for your next paycheck from the government that wants your kids. What are we doing here? Like I said, if one of my brothers that was close to me said, hey, they starting to write dirty letters, whatever else, I need a place to send my kids. Can I send my kids to you in Germany? Yeah, of course. We fly them to Paris. I'd meet them in Paris, and that would be it. Open borders in Europe. We could drive anywhere in Europe. Who picked him up? He came with his kids. He flew back alone. Mr. Tijani, where's your kids? You know what? They're with their auntie. Who's your auntie? Why? Now it's just you. You don't have to worry. You know what I mean? What are you gonna throw you in jail because they're with their auntie? Which auntie? It's none of your business. It's my auntie.
They're on vacation.
Nah, that's okay. My auntie's fine without your guys' help. She's perfectly fine. I'm the auntie. I'm Auntie Abuamerican all of a sudden, okay?
Dr. Wissam here is saying this is the advantage of America where people are armed. Dr. Wissam living in Texas, so he have some real shit around him.
I'm from Texas. Yeah, we're gonna play around out there. Texas is like Florida. You come on a man's property without proper documentation, it's a fair fight.
You will leave a hole in your head. Yeah.
Yep.
So Slim here saying I live in Sweden and I remember how me and my brothers were almost taken by the social. So that's real stories, guys. There is a links in the description for a lot of stories. You will find a lot of videos, five or four links in Arabic and in English. Like if you wanna have more information about it, guys. What do you think, Mahdi? What is the solution in this case?
Look, I can tell you, having been here, living in the West myself in the UK,
Hmm.
we forget about the state. Your own wife can turn on you if she wants to, if she feels bitter towards you suddenly for whatever reason, justified or not, and she can actually she can use the state as leverage against you. Your own Muslim wife. Never mind the state coming off their own accord to take your kids away from you. So if you're going to have children in the West, like Abuamerican said, and you need to understand what you're signing yourself up for, because you do have the lower hand. You don't have the upper hand here. You said it yourself once, Coach Kareem. You said before a woman comes to the West, they give her the book of Marcia. Was that what you said?
دورة نشوز course.
And Nushuz course, the disobedience course. You know, I've had to learn this the hard way myself. So, long-term plan, get out of here. In the short term, wallahi, I don't know what to tell you, to be honest with you. Allah Ma'ak.
If you're Muslim,
Vetting.
guys,
Yeah, Americans vetting guide. You're going to choose a woman to have children with? You make sure you vet that woman. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. If you are a Muslim single guy living in Sweden, make money as much as you can and relocate to another more father-friendly country.
Hmm.
So do not get married there. If you got married, never have any children. No, no, no. And look, a Swedish guy here is saying it is like cancer. Everybody thinks that they won't be a victim of it, because I met some Arabs, which is like slaves to the mindset to the Western mindset. They're saying no, 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 that's extreme cases. That's not happening. When it's 20,000 case per year, it's not extreme cases, and all of them, all of the fathers and the mother was thinking like you. It will never happen to me. 5 years old child, like this is a story from a grown woman. She's telling her story with her sisters. They took her and the three sisters out of their home. Why? Because the 5 years old child, which is sister, she's young and dumb and naive. She was saying like I got like I'm having violence against me in home. Maybe her father shouted at her because she's eating 25 piece of ice cream that day. So she was saying that we're having violence against us, and so they got the stuff around her, start asking her like, is he shouting at you? Is he's doing this and that? And she confirmed it. They took the four sisters, the four females out of the family, and the grown like that was 5 or 6 7 years ago. She's grown now. She was saying, I told them I want to get back to my mother and father. They never listen. They never listen. Everybody thinks that they are immune for of that. No, that you're not.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Abu American. Do you have anything to add?
No, bro. I mean, I said it. I mean, I think we need to see a little bit more solidarity. This, everybody likes to talk a good game online, but I think we need to see the reality now. We're no longer like in a time when it's just you either got to put excuse me, you got to be real with that, or you got to shut up. And the Muslims got to pick one right now. It's like, let's be real with each other. Let's we've been kind of saying this for a while, and people don't make the connections. We've been talking about build tribes, build small communities until it gets bigger and bigger of like trustworthy people. Why? Because we need to watch our backs. Because nobody's doing it for us. Who's doing it for us?
This is an important
Nobody.
point, wallahi. I was actually speaking to a client the other day, and he mentioned how he likes doing strange. SubhanAllah, he said, I like doing business with Muslims. And I was like, normally I hear the opposite of this statement. I hate doing business with Muslims because Muslims tend to rip each other off, which is sad, really. But there is some truth to that. And he said to me, no. He said to me, we need to be more like the Jews. I said to him, what do you mean? He said, look at the Jews. How big is their population? What's the population of Israel? It's a tiny population. What's their tentacle hold over the most important power strings on the planet? Yeah, they have a majority. If you want to talk about the Rothschild dynasty, or you want to talk about these major dynastic families, how did they achieve this? If you look in the case of the Rothschild family, for example, it began with Mayer Rothschild in the 1850s in Germany. And the Germans were hostile towards the Jews long before Hitler. And they actually exiled them to ghettos, specific ghettos, where only Jews can live. Jews were not allowed to mix with non-Jews. They had to live on their own in these specific, like, slum-like ghettos. But they turned that to their advantage. And they said, okay, you're not going to allow us to mingle with you? No problem. We don't want to mingle with you. We're going to do business just with each other. We are going to help just one another. And literally just by operating in this very tight, close-knit manner with each other, this minority people were able to become the people that you see today. They took this very seriously. The Rothschild, in particular, Mayer Rothschild had 5 sons. They took it to the point where even the sons only allowed their children to marry the children of one of the other sons. That's how deep they took it.
Cousins, yeah.
And yeah, like very deep. And I'm not saying, Yana, we have to do this, but I'm just saying fikra. What's the fikra? The fikra is we need to help each other. You've got my back, I've got your back, because we're the same. And if we don't have each other's back, ain't nobody got our backs.
That is the main reason that the Western systems, regimes, dismantle the idea of tribalism since long time. That's why, like, in my podcast with Rolo, I asked him that question, like, don't you think even once that you never have like a male child, because he had daughter? He said, like, to carry your name. He said, my daughter carry my name, and my nephew is carrying my name. And I remember that they don't have this like this lineage, and even in the passport and in the ID, like in Arab world, you will find my name, my father name, my grandfather name, and the family name. So we have that. We have, yeah, it is 4 names. So we have that, and I know like 10 names of mine. I know 10 of them.
Yes.
So we got that lineage. It's drilled in our brain, because only male members will carry the name. So if I did not get any male, I will try to have more babies to have a male. But they don't have this mindset in the West, because there is no tribe, there is no big family at all. So they dismantle individuals. They are not thinking about that anymore.
Wow.
I agree.
It's more easy to control individuals than tribes.
But they've taught, you see, and this is part of the problem of living in the West. They teach you that this is backwards, that this will hinder progress and moving forward and whatnot. I understand the mentality, but because I was raised in it, but it's not correct, obviously, because look at where we're going now. When you don't have like a unified group and tribe, when you don't have homogeneity in your society, in your culture, or even in subgroups within a culture, what happens? Look at China. Do those people seem confused about who they are, where they're going, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish? Do the Russians seem like they're confused about where they're going, what they're trying to accomplish, where they're going? No. And so why are we as Muslims, who have the most complete message and guidance left to mankind, why are we all over the place? For the life of me. But
I believe you felt that when you lived in the Middle East. you feel that concept, which is tribes. Like
Yeah.
somebody have 25, 30 cousin, they're hanging with each other. They are like a good net, like a very
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
strong net.
It was really strange, actually. It was strange, which tells you how strange we are in the West. It was strange for me that like all these guys were hanging out, and they're like every last one of them was like related somehow. And I was like,
Hmm.
wow, it'd be like 20 dudes hanging out on the weekend at the mall, and I'm like, yeah, that's my cousin, that's so and so. This is my mom's sister's something. I'm like, whoa, like y'all rolling deep, like just family.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's gonna
Torsha
run
was,
up on those guys and take one of their kids?
Mm.
yeah,
They're smiling, laughing, drinking, eating together. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You really just gonna
Torsha
roll
was,
up and be like, this guy's gonna pick up his phone and it's gonna be all over social media like Ukraine and Russia right now. That's them
Oh
cats are
no,
gonna
it's
show
funny
up
you
in
say that,
force.
American. It's funny you say
Hmm?
that because this was one of my main motivations to want to have many children myself. Is because I grew
Hmm.
up. I mean, I have 3 sisters. I never had a brother, so I don't know what it's like to have a brother. That's the first thing. The second thing is when I went to school, I went to a school that was predominantly South Asians, and South Asians have big families, specifically Pakistani. And I
Hmm.
remember these 2 kids in my class, both the same age. One of them was the uncle, one of them was the nephew, and the nephew was older than the uncle. And I was like, that's mad. And then I was like,
Hmm.
I want that. I want to have that.
Hmm.
I want to have kids for so long that my kids are having kids and I'm still having kids and the nephew is older than the uncle. Like, that's deep, man. I like that. You know?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, Torsha was shocked when she asked me how many cousins do you have. I said like around 100, and she said, "Whoa, what? Really?" I said, "Yeah, like one of my grandma have 11, and the other grandma have 10. So imagine like they're breeding, like 21 person is breeding. So I
Mhm.
have around 100 cousin, and it like if somebody did harm me, you're not harming one person,
Mm.
so there is a small army behind him, and the small army is connected. One in the defense ministry, one is a general in the police department. The other one is a parliament member. The third one is in uh, uh, the border, let's say, controlling authority. So,
Understood.
and I have all of their phones. So if I'm having problem with, it happened with me in the airport. I missed my flight, so I have to check in again in Jordan to the next flight the next day. So they took me to the intelligence agency to ask me some question. Like I stayed there for 10 minutes, and somebody came to me and said, "I'm your cousin. Like I just read your name. I never saw him in my life.
SubhanAllah.
I never saw him in my life. So I'm your
Wow.
I'm your cousin. Like how you
There you
doing? Like
go.
what's happened? This and that happened. I said, okay, that's okay. He called one of the guys working under him. He's lieutenant. He called one of the guys working under him, like just take care of him, my cousin, and let him leave. To ask you can order a taxi for him. Like just be sure that he have everything he need. And I was surprised. Like who's that guy? Like I don't know.
It's how we got to be because we don't have that, out here in the West. So we need to build it. And then stuff like this is going to be easy to resolve. It's going to be easy to solve. It's going to be easy to fix.
Hmm.
Maybe it won't stop them from trying, but it'll definitely like take the wind out of their sails. They'll definitely like be, you know what? It's like this ain't working. We need to come up with something else. You know.
Hmm.
And then what do? We come up with something else. If they come at us, if they don't, then alhamdulillah, that's what we wanted anyway.
Mm.
Subhanallah.
So yeah.
That's the deep down problem in the Western society. They broke the social fabric. They dismantled the social fabric because it's more easy to rule individuals than
Yep.
groups. That's strong groups. So and like
They
they
run,
follow
they run a good game at dividing people. We saw this with
yeah.
this entire illness that went around the world. They really divided society. They know they can get away with murder now.
Yeah, yeah, that's the main issue. Like any advices for guys, and I want to mention like one last thing. For you as a man, you I do not advise you to have one child mentality. because one or two child mentality is risky. That I know the whole psychological literature about the one child risks, psychological risks. If if you have one child and you're putting all your effort and emotion supporting that child, if you lose him, you will go insane. You will go insane. And I saw that in my life, in my grandmother life. She got 11. One of them died. Okay, she got the hit, she got the trauma, but not because, but she have another 10. So it is not a great trauma. So never be with one child mentality, like have
And
multiple.
yeah, I mean, to add to that, I know some people will hear that and think, "What? That's so cruel. We're talking about a human life here. It's not like a pair of trainers." But look, I can tell you, like, as alhamdulillah, I have many children myself as well, and what Coach Kareem is saying is true, man. If you imagine you had just one child, one best واحد يعني, and that was by choice. Yeah, you could have had more, just one, and then something happens to that child, you're going to be absolutely devastated. I've spoken to a brother once. Wallahi, I've spoken to a brother who he has only had one son. He tried to have more children with his wife. They were unable to. He didn't want to get married again, whatever. The way this man talks about his son, wallahi, it's like borderline. He's putting him some type of like saint, like he's a sayyid, like his
This is
child.
his soul.
Yeah, it's like wallahi, it's like, you'd think this child has yani get some type of revelation or something like this. And you know, I get it. You know, it's his only child, and in his case, they did try for more. Everything is on that child. Everything. And imagine that's a lot of pressure for that kid as well to live up to those expectations.
And he will be overprotected, overspoiled, most probably.
I mean, Kevin Samuels has touched upon this. Kevin Samuels, every now and again, when he would get one of those ratchet girls on his show, and she would be like, "I just want to have one kid," and he was like, "You're useless. You have one kid for what?" I said, "Don't do that to a child. I'm an only child, and I can tell you, it was hell." This is what he said. I can't relate to being an only child, but this is what he's. I'm an only child, and I can tell you, it was hell. Don't do that to your child.
Abuamerican, are you getting the third shoes yet?
Yeah, yeah, that's sorted, bro. Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
So what do you think about the multi-child? I know you have like around 8 children.
I have 9 children.
9.
You will not find me disputing this point. You know, definitely have more than one child in my humble estimation. Have as many as you can. I mean, it's like this is an entire. I find this to be a scarcity mindset and a mindset of weakness. You know, and a lack of resourcefulness and intelligence. I don't want to be insulting, but I mean, it's going to sound insulting. It's not the intention. It's like, you know, I can't afford multiple kids. No, what you mean is you're too stupid to learn how to make more money, or you're too lazy.
That's right.
Or you don't have your tawakkul and Allah sorted. That's what I hear when I hear that. You know, I'm too unintelligent. I'm too lazy. And I don't have tawakkul and Allah that I can take care of my family.
Bisaraha, I'll be honest with you, I believe that those are excuses and lies. I believe the real reason is I don't want to. I want to live my life. I want to live my best life, and kids get in the way of that.
Yeah, it is mindset. It is mindset.
You know, but let me ask you something. I mean, I know Mehdi has kids. Do you feel like your life has been like, you know, reduced or somehow like, you know,
bro,
like kids?
Wallahi, yani, alhamdulillah, I cannot imagine a life without, and I want to have more and more and more. You know, I'm so used to having young souls around me. Young souls, you know, they light up, they bring life to a house. My mom said this once. She likes having my kids. She said, they bring life to the house when your children are here. I was like, you know what? I never thought of it like that, because they're so free and, you know, uninhibited. They bring this life to the. I can't imagine not being surrounded by that youthful, just like freedom. You know, that freedom, the freedom of a child, like that. They don't care. They're just whatever. SubhanAllah, it's beautiful. On the contrary, I would say they open you up. They improve your life. Not
motivate
like
you. They motivate you. They keep you motivated.
Yeah.
So with multi kids have higher motivation.
For sure. No doubt about that.
Yeah, the only thing I wish in terms of kids is that I could actually be a better dad. That's all I wish. I wish I could be even better. I wish I could be better than what I am. That's if I was good or I was the best dad, I'd wish I could be even better than what the best dad is. That's all I wish. That's the only thing in terms of kids that I wish I could change. Having kids is awesome. It's amazing. I don't know. People, I mean, these weirdos. I think you're a weirdo if you don't want
It
kids.
is weird, Allah.
It's like,
It's
what?
weird.
You weirdo. Something strange about it to me.
The
That's me, though.
Anti-replication, the anti-replication weird guys.
Yeah. Makes me, scrunch my face up when someone says, I don't want a kid. I ain't got nothing else really to say. All right, man. I bet you put pineapple on pizza too, weirdo.
Listen, I like pineapple on pizza, Abuamerican.
Oh man, come on, bro. That's strange, man. That's strange, man.
I'm gonna start putting mango on pizza then, okay? All right.
Barakallah fik, Nawaf. Thank you. Alaikum assalam, Yusuf. Barakallah fik. No, that's strange. Like if you've been in Italy and ask for pineapple and pizza, they will kick you out of the restaurant. Like what is this?
I love pineapple on pizza, straight up.
That's strange. It's like mayonnaise and mansaf. Like that doesn't work. No. Okay. I believe we came to the end. Like, do you have anything to summarize what we talk about, guys, as advices for Muslim families in Sweden or in North, let's say Western countries, which is the family is at risk with your Islamic value? What do you think about Abuamerican? Let's start with Abuamerican.
I mean, we understand the score. We know what's going on. We know what's happening. Now it's just a matter of like planning and understanding that you could possibly be next. There is no, like you were saying, there is no, it won't ever happen to me. That's what everybody who would happen to is the person who said they thought it would never happen to them. It's upon you to plan appropriately at this point and to have, a setup or a structure in place in order to defend your family. And like we said, you can't fight the state. There's too many of them. You can fight the random dude trying to kidnap your kids or whatever else, but the state, that's a different ballpark. So now in the fight or flight scene, you have to take your flight, have a flight plan, have a fight plan, but have a plan. Do not count on the humanity of people who will steal children from people unjustifiably. To wait and expect humanity from someone who constantly and consistently displays none is a fool's errand. And it makes you deserving of losing your kids if that's what you bet upon. So plan, and plan again. And you can only do this with a network. You build your network, of people that you can trust, because you will need it. You will need help, and it's got to be people who are fearless. That's what I got.
Guys, Yusuf, just Yusuf, just remind me, guys, there's over than 600 watching live, and there is around 140. Guys, like, hit the like button. This is free. I'm not asking you for membership or super chat. Just hit that damn button. It helps me.
Drop super chats on my bro. What you doing? Show some love. Drop some super chats on the bro. Come on, man. Brother giving you his time. Give him some love.
Thank you, American. Thank you. Go ahead, Akhi Mahdi. Tfaddal.
No, look, Andrew Tate is a very divisive character, but one thing that he's got on lock is that network. That network is important, man. That network is powerful, very, very powerful, and this is something we are missing amongst us Muslims. I'm not too sure what it is. Wallah, I don't know what our problem is. بصراحة, this network of Muslim brothers, with Iman together, like a big group of them. This is something that is really missing. Bصراحة.
It is Western problem. It is not Muslim problem, Mahdi. Because in Arab world, in in Asian countries, Muslim countries, we still have that mentality, and that's well established in our society. Here I'm talking about all of the Arab worlds, the Muslim Arabic countries, and let's talk about Pakistan. Let's talk about those countries. We still have the tribe and the bigger family concept, and that's very strong and molded in the society. You can't take it out of them,
Mm.
because until now people will keep asking, until now, today, 2022, people will keep asking about your father, your grandfather, and his father. Until now, like, who's this? This is Mahdi. Mahdi is son of who? He's son of, for example, Khalid. Khalid who? Khalid Ahmed Tijani.
Mm.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. I know this family. Like, his grandfather was living around. So we
أيوة.
still have that connection.
Mm.
It's molded into our society structure, let's say.
Mm. الحمد لله. جزاك الله خير كوتش كريم.
بارك الله فيك أخي, بارك الله فيك. عبد الجبار, 999 euro. Thank you very much أخي, جزاك الله خير,
Barakallah feek.
to support the channel. And we have Abdul Jabbar again, 499. A look of compassion of missing in the Muslim Ummah. Thank you. Thank you. We miss that a lot, bro. We really miss that a lot. And now they are attacking Mustafa Sharqawi, the Swedish government and the European media. They are attacking Mustafa Sharqawi, the creator of Qanat Shu'un Islamiyya. They are mentioning the name of him, that he's extremist. He never been extremist at all. Just he highlighted what's happened in Sweden. But what is the easiest way to label anyone that I don't like? He is Muslim extremist. Like, this is the easiest way. So you'll try to help each other as Muslim content creator, guys. Like the video, share it if you find any value of it. Thank you very much, Abu American. Jazakallah khair. Mahdi Tijani,
Yeah, barakallah feek.
thank you
Pleasure.
for your time, guys. جزاكم الله خير جميعا for watching. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم
Walaikum
السلام
assalam wa
ورحمة
rahmatullahi wa
الله
barakatuh.
وبركاته.